star among stars, undescribably bright.
Greetings, good people. My name is Simon Okelo, and you are watching Diaspora Connect. I'm the founder and executive director of One Vibe Africa. Women empowerment is really important to me. That's why tonight's Avoli night is really focusing on African women leaders here in Seattle that are doing good work. I'm sitting here with Kemi from Nigeria, and she's the daughter of Oga Pata Pata. Oga means chief, just so you know. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
You're good?
Good.
You're so calm and collected.
Thank you.
So how did you end up in Seattle?
So I was born in Nigeria, and my dad came to America in 2004, and then he brought me, my siblings, and my mom in 2005. And so we've been living in Federal Way since 2005, and I ended up in Seattle because I attend the University of Washington.
Man. Now, I'm sure you know about gentrification.
Yes.
When you hear about this word, what comes to your mind?
I think of like people of power coming in and taking ownership of a place that they don't understand.
Yeah.
And so kind of shifting it, but not shifting it for the good of the people there, but shifting it for the good of their own purpose.
Yeah. Thank you. Now, you are involved with the leadership of Africa Now at the University of Washington.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about this.
Yeah, so I am one of the co-program directors for Africa Now. Africa Now is a conference that is meant to empower and inspire youth across Seattle, but also the entire world, to kind of build sustainable resources and take it back to Africa and sort of build Africa that way.
Thank you very much. What's the history of it? When did Africa Now start?
So Africa Now started because of a conversation, just two young African students talking about oftentimes you hear that they always want to make a change in Africa, but they're going to wait till they have their degrees or they have their careers established. And so the purpose of Africa Now is to say, why not start now? Why not start in your youth? Why not start when you have the ambition and you have the people around you that also want to do the same things? And so that's why the conference got started. We had our first inaugural conference last May, and we are planning for our second one spring 2019.
You involve One Vibe?
Yes, of course.
Like, no, just full stop at the end. Involve One Vibe. But listen, one of my favorite musicians in Africa right now is called Blitz the Ambassador, and he has a song called Africa Is Now, you know? So you should check him out. Man, what was the adjustment like for you moving from Nigeria to Seattle and getting into university? Speak to a girl like you that does not even know their parents are about to move them to America.
Yeah. So granted, I was like 5 when I came, so it was, when I moved, it was like, okay, my environment's different, how do I adapt? And so...
What was different?
Well, you go from Nigeria to America, so two completely different worlds, two completely different ways of living.
How? Like, let's say you're somebody who has never been to Nigeria. Some people hear Nigeria and they think that, everybody lives like Okocha, JJ Okocha. You know JJ Okocha?
No, I don't know.
He's my favorite soccer player. He's even better than Pele. Oh yes, yeah. JJ Okocha, man, if you watched France '98, this guy is a magician when it comes to soccer. But Nwankwo Kanu, people think that, all Nigerians are like that. But just paint a little picture of where you grew up in Nigeria and where you live in Seattle for people to have a better understanding of what the difference is like. For example, for me, I grew up in Manyata, which is the largest slum in Kisumu. Kisumu is the 3rd largest city in Kenya. If I compare Seattle and Manyata, no running water, like the day that there is water in the taps, it's news in the neighborhood. People are like, did you get water? Yes, we have water. What color is yours? Ours is still brown. But what color is yours? Ours is now clean. You can come and drink from our tap. That's how crazy it was to even have water. My mom was the first woman to install electricity in our neighborhood. People would come and just check out our security bulbs, like, oh, they've turned it on, you know. That's how different it was.
Yeah.
You know?
So I guess one like huge difference is that electricity is never guaranteed.
Yeah.
So you could have it for like 5 minutes one day, and then that's all you get for that day or a few days.
Yeah.
Whereas here it's like constant, it's around you everywhere. So
Yeah.
that's like a big shift.
Yeah.
Also, school was different. In Nigeria, the school structure is very like, I don't know like a good word to but I would say it's more rigorous than American education is to an extent. And so the way that we're challenged in terms of like, as we're growing up was different. And so it was just kind of like that adjustment period of adjusting and then growing to like the potential that my parents wanted to see in me and the potential that I see in myself.
But Nigeria is just about to have elections. I was reading something on the news that the Nigerian president died a long time ago, and there is an imposter that looks exactly like him. Do you think this is true? It's not true.
No, I don't believe it. Fake news.
Anyhow. So, what do you think about the upcoming elections?
It's something to look out for. I definitely always have, I give Nigeria the benefit of a doubt, and I hope that some good will come out of it just in our current political structure, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, if you're doubting the story of an imposter, you go to the BBC, you'll be able to see this article of someone who looks exactly like the Nigerian president. He has a different name, but people are saying the Nigerian president has been so absent, and all of his absence has been in the hospitals, you know? So people are like, oh, this guy is no longer around, so he has an imposter that is, you know, that is the Buhari?
Yes,
Buhari.
Yeah.
Now, would you please look at the camera and tell people to subscribe to One Vibe TV?
If you haven't already subscribed, make sure to subscribe to One Vibe TV. You're missing out if you haven't.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Again, thank you for tuning in to Diaspora Connect. This is a show that we are using to demystify the life of Africans here in the diaspora, and also to share stories about what's going on in the continent that is positive. Many times people back home think that us in the diaspora live in places where the streets are paved with gold, but that's not true. You know, we are just in a little cafe and having dinner, and there's no gold out in the street. But then the other thing is that people think that we still live in the jungle in Africa, but you know, was there a jungle where you come from?
No lions in my backyard.
So anyhow, we are super excited to see you again. You know, we are doing a volley night every other week, and Diaspora Connect is being published every Thursday at 5 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is 3 o'clock East African Time. Thanks a lot. Have a beautiful holidays.
Movie star, anything I want to be. I can be a star, I'm a star.